His turn to ban. TNC's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful spirit.
TN
Ogre Magi!
Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Beastmaster.
TNC's turn to ban. TNC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So when they have a support that can be anywhere and help the lanes out, it allows their cause to function very well.
Yeah, that IO can basically show up and win your lane for you
Yeah.
and turn an otherwise manageable lane into a terrifying one.
He's something like an ogre for the first few minutes, but he's not as strong. But the main difference is after the laning phase, he has a lot to offer for his team. The save, the map presence, and obviously he has something like a bloodlust as well. The overcharge, but you have to sacrifice your hit points and mana for that. But I mean overall they are similar heroes in some ways.
I wonder which direction TNC will go here. As far as mid goes, Tinker has been something that's been a popular pick for Cuckoo. It would also be kind of something that would fit Liquid's lineup a little bit with that global presence. So I wonder if that's a direction that they
Tinker
potentially
is
go.
like a good hero for their playstyle, but Io and Beastmaster are both heroes that are really good against the Tinker. They have chosen to remove out the OD. OD is, I would say, much better against their lineup with the burst against the Io, and you have the save against the Raw.
Remaining.
I wouldn't mind playing against Tinker if I have Beastmaster and Io. I think these two heroes would be able to do really well against him because you already have that catch. The games where we saw Cuckoo run rampant on his Tinker was when the enemy team did not have any catch against his Tinker.
There's a Necrophos ban. I just want to put it out there because we haven't seen the hero at all the entire tournament.
Didn't Liquid play like Io Necrophos in like I remember like there was an event that they played it. I can't remember which one.
Recently in qualifiers they ran a mid Necrophos, I believe, as well. So, or no, a safe lane Necrophos.
I think Matumba Man. Yeah, Matumba Man played the hero. So basically, you have that double, triple heal, like so much heal with the IO.
Oh, Liquid, what are you doing here? I mean, it's good to be able to hide information from the other team, but it's also good to have a team that does things.
Is this a mid Juggernaut, you think, or is this
Not
Carry?
sure.
I thought
Very,
they still have
very
a
open.
Luna, which is another like pretty frequent option for them.
Yeah, very
Or even-
open-ended. The Juggernaut.
Seconds remaining.
Same goes for the Rubik. Doesn't say anything. It's very solid. Good in the lane. Healing, good team fight. Healing ward, Omni Slash, and whatnot. It's mainly, I think, the focus here is for TNC. They are picking just like really good lanes once more. They don't want to have an issue in the laning phase, and they want to be able to kill you and punish you in the lane. And the Juggernaut still gives them options of having different lanes because you can go mid or carry.
All right, very standard draft coming out for what we've seen this entire
Yeah, so
tournament.
far Sam H has mostly played Slada or Sand King.
Right.
Those are the two heroes I see him play a lot recently. He's been just on that team fight hero. They don't put him on like a greedier farming like what we saw from ROTK, the Doom or the Magnus, more farming orientated course. He's more of like the team fight control.
Yeah, think the Darkseer when Earth Spirit is there. That is like the ultimate Sam H hero for me.
I mean, Sand King is really good against the relocate. When you see the relocate coming in, you can get ready with your epicenter. So you've got that going for you.
Yeah, he is a great defensive hero for team fights, but he's also very aggressive, which is what we like to see
Yeah,
Sam H on
Sand
as
King
well.
plus Ogre could be a huge problem for their lanes because if you look at Liquid's lineup right now, Io plus Rubik, not the greatest duo. You don't do so much damage in between both of you. So and you would kind of expect GH on Io to like run around, help mid, help bottom. So if Rubik plus one, there's a huge chance that the Ogre plus Sand King can, just break the lane apart.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a huge amount of damage coming out on that lane from those two supports. So the pick going to be coming out here from Team Liquid. Probably our first insight into their game plan here. You expecting any like standard IO combos? Maybe a Tiny, maybe an
I'd say a
Ursa?
Legion Commander, something like that. We've seen that used against a Juggernaut, a good natural partner for the IO as well.
Ooh, wow. Oh my god, Liquid, the squish is real. And if they get initiated on any one of these heroes, they're just going to get blowed up, boys.
I mean, but they have a very clear plan around the Terrorblade. They have the Io. Every time when you pick Terrorblade, you want to have like someone to be able to save you, so you get your Sunder off. They have a good synergy with the Beastmaster and Terrorblade. But the one thing that I'm really worried is the lane though. The lane of Liquid right now is extremely weak. Like
Right.
Rubik, Terrorblade is, I
They
don't know,
can
like,
get run over, man.
the Ogre and Sand King duo can just destroy that. Even if the Io decides to go up, I can still see the Ogre and Sand King winning that lane against 3 heroes. That's how dangerous the lane is.
Wow. Okay. Team Liquid going with okay.
Just, a strong hero like Ember, can't really say too much about that hero. He's very good in the patch, does a lot for your team.
That's where the
But
flexibility.
the matchup is not good though, like the Ember against the Juggernaut.
Right, that's where the flexibility potentially comes in for that early Juggernaut pick, right? Because you can kind of wait for that later core pick to see if you want to run him mid.
Yeah, I can see TNC actually running over all the lanes. If they do Juggernaut against Ember mid, they do Ogre Sand King top, Venge plus 1 bottom, like maybe what's left? Weaver, right? Weaver. Oh, Medusa.
Medusa, can someone please talk to me here? I mean, I thought they were having a push lane. I thought they were going in hard and destroying. That's a late game
Medusa
hero.
gives them much more late game, and at the same time, he's really good against the illusions. He can clear out the illusions.
Okay, but why go late game? I mean, they had so much pressure. They could have just gone for that early win. Any reason why?
They don't want to go so all in on the early game, which
Okay.
in the previous series, some of the games were a bit shaky because of that. They were under pressure because they didn't have much late game, so going for much more late game to secure it.
Sure, you can pick one team. Who's it gonna be? TNC, Liquid. Go.
I like TNC a lot before the Medusa pick. I thought that they had a lot of that pressure. I thought they were going to steamroll.
One team. Jake.
Okay, Liquid, go!
All right.
TNC has good lanes.
One TNC.
I like that last pick, but I'm gonna have to go with Liquid.
Everybody wants to try and hide things, cover up in case they're wrong, but we are gonna find out who's gonna take the first game of our first semifinals. It is over to Lyrical and Merlini.
Thank you very much, Shiver and the panel. Hello and welcome everybody out there in the wide, wonderful world. We're here for Dota 2 Finals Day, Star Ladder I-League Star Series Season 3. Merlini.
A lot of alliteration in one sentence.
Thank you.
Or consonants. It's technically consonants.
It's a good thing no matter what it is, because it sounds beautiful. And most importantly, we're here to watch some Dota. Merlini, how you feeling?
You sound so beautiful.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. But Liquid versus TNC, pretty good teams here. They've made it all the way through 3 days of group stages. We got a Medusa last pick. Do you like the hero in this meta?
I like it versus Terrorblade. She has a lot of armor, she's very tanky, and she can kill the illusions and stand there. There's very few heroes that can stand to conjure images and manta illusions with a meta TB beating on you. It's actually very rare that you can actually see that. Normally you get Ghost Scepters, or you run away, or you try and stun lock them. GH!
Oh, just barely able to walk away from that one. That could have been a pretty disastrous start to this game, but they're able to get out of the way
It's
from
very hard for them to kill the Wisp in that situation, though, because they only have 2 short-range stuns. Or, I guess 3 if you want to skill it on the Ogre. But that will be 3 runes for TNC.
Well, definitely a good way to start the
where
game
are
off.
GH and Kuro going? They are...
The battle begins.
They fake place a ward.
Okay. They're not seeing that right now on the screen, but it was over towards the Radiant Ancients up on the cliff
where
next to
Cuckoo
mid.
is right now. Cuckoo's getting harassed. Yeah, so he's going to miss his block.
Well, we're over there to the side by the Ancients, but we're going to see Miracle for a second, just blocking it out, and there we go.
So they fake placed a ward. They like ran up there and turned around. That's kind of what the movement is for an observer ward placement, especially if you shift Q. So I saw TNC pinging out, so I don't know if they're actually going to spend a sentry ward, but perhaps not.
Well, maybe a little bit of those plays, the fake getting into somebody else's heads is a good way to start a series, certainly. And what I think could be relatively even. You know, that you saw the bets there on the screen earlier. It felt like it was very one-sided into the favor of Liquid, but we've seen TNC be really strong throughout these group stages, and now here in the playoffs, got a good chance to make it work as they're trying to chase down Tims. Doesn't look like they're quite going to be able to get into range for the lift, though.
And there's always a Western bias to those a little bit, just because, you know, we have a Western audience. You're more comfortable with
Medusa in some trouble. Got the mana shield there. Fairy Fire as well. Oh, those are so value on Medusa.
Is true. Mango's even more value. 5 mangoes even.
That's the
by the legendary EE. That's strat.
Yeah.
Well, not so much of a big deal because both heroes in the mid will just shrine up.
Yeah, nothing really lost too much there. With the Ogre coming in now, maybe this makes the lane a little bit easier for Cuckoo. I mean, Ember versus Medusa feels like, particularly those early levels, it might be tough for Medusa to not be harassed out of lane.
Once she gets level 2, Snake will be fine. Snake just does ridiculous amounts of damage. And Ember, you'll see someone go no talisman very early on, even before the Aquila, because you actually struggle with some mana issues.
Well, another little pullback there onto Sam H. Yeah, this is maybe a little bit of a scary supporting duo. The panel was talking about them not being able to do too much, but if you just right-click fools, it's a bit tough to deal with.
Well, it's easy in a 3-on-1 situation. I'm pretty sure any 2 heroes can zone out one. He is waiting.
Well, hanging on to that regen. It does look like he's going to pull back over and wait for Wisp to fill it up, so that's going to be a regen used, and Miracle back up to full HP.
TNC are doing a better job of controlling the bounty runes, though. Venge did sweep by that bottom bounty rune on the Dire side.
Oh, Dire's Courier goes down as well.
I did not actually see where that was.
Well, so far, a little bit of a tough one. And Miracle actually even able to push back Tims here. The Snake is going to go out. Miracle diving for this one. Wants the kill bat. Is going to get it. Taking a good bit of harassment on his way out, but does look like he's going to try and turn now with GH there. You got to be careful if you're Cuckoo.
Got to respect the Wisp. Wisp just makes everyone like twice as strong once you're tethered. I don't know if twice is actually the right comparison, but especially with the regeneration rune, he can go in so deep.
That was something that we saw yesterday, I believe, in the DC game, if I'm not mistaken. It was the Bat Rider together.
Wisp.
Such a strong combination. Seeing sort of a similar thing here as well with Miracle being able to go pretty pressured.
Yeah.
How do you feel like these lanes are sort of going to work out? We already see that the Terrorblade is basically top of the net worth, with Medusa still above the Ember Spirit a little bit.
I mean, it's pretty much going how I would expect. I guess if Medusa's getting like under a lot of pressure in that mid lane though, but She hasn't died yet, so that's pretty good, and she's still getting decent amounts of CS. But Ember looks like he is going to be an issue quite soon.
Yeah, and Sam H still able to pick up a lot of CS for himself. Like Mind Control here, 8-3, got a good bit of experience, but the Sand King is still getting a lot as well. So this is, I would imagine, feeling pretty good right now if you're TNC. But they did draft strong lanes as well.
The Wisp is also getting a lot too. He's kind of free to run wherever he wants, and they don't actually have a good way to jump on the Wisp. Like maybe you can swap him into the fight, but like that's not that great. Normally you'll see, you know, Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit, like any of these heroes that can just get on top of him and kill him before he can actually tether away, but they don't really have anything like that. Their lineup is far more based around buffing up the Medusa with the Vengeful Aura and the Ogre, Magi Bloodlust, and just playing around the Medusa, making sure she survives as opposed to assassinating the Team Liquid lineup.
Well, and so we did see the Venge over there on the bottom lane, sort of setting up for a wraparound onto the Beastmaster. But thinking about the Juggernaut and his role in this, sometimes a hero that will get a little bit aggressive, do you think that he could rotate to another lane and find a kill potentially, or is that a little bit too hard in this game?
It's too early. Usually you'll see when they get 6 plus Aquila, so they can actually turn into a tower push, but he doesn't have any of those right now. Mind Control does have a TP scroll in case he gets stunned, so I don't really think he's that scared at all. And the Shrine is still up, so I don't even think he had the TP back. But Beastmaster's getting a lot, almost level 5 right now.
Oh, Medusa again getting gone on in the mid lane. TP coming in. Does look like it might dissuade Miracle from going any further. A couple right clicks and, well, triple Remnant. Man, getting very aggro. Takes down Rior. He was not expecting that.
Yep. Ember is going to be an issue because Medusa generally needs, I would say, at minimum 10 minutes before you can do stuff. Like Phase Lance, I would say, is usually what you go for early. Phase Lance into Aquila. And like Ember Spirit, he's already online. And once he gets like level 4 Searing Chains, level 4 Flame Guard, he's going to be even more of an issue for these supports that have kind of just been running around babysitting the lanes. They're not actually that strong on their own. Again, this lineup is based far more around the Dusa than the supports being able to rotate and gank.
Well, we'll have to see if possibly TNC can start to try and pressure him a little bit more heavily. It feels like it's almost in a way pretty tough to even do that. Like, do you think that with this smoke gank they're going to be able to find something? Is that just looking straight for the Ember no matter what?
They might kill the Wisp, but Wisp actually popped the smoke and they have no idea where they are.
Yeah, just a little bit unlucky there. They get a ward at least.
They can't pressure mid so much because Ember, like, how do you actually kill an Ember? If he has a Remnant up and mana, he'll just Remnant away, no problem. But a bottom lane going into a tower kill after killing the Beastmaster is certainly ideal. Mind Control is a hero that you want to limit in this game a lot.
Oh my god, ulti used in the mid lane, and it's going to be able to stun them up for the moment. Burrow Strike also going to connect now onto Kuroki. He's taking a good bit of damage and does look like he's going to fall there. Miracle in the meantime being slowed, but decides to turn, able to take down one. Killing spree for this Ember at this early stage in the game.
Wisp had a DD, if you didn't notice. It's really hard to actually see that he has DD, unless you're paying attention, but maybe underestimating that a little bit. And of course, Ember, he just seems like he has infinite mana, despite the Mystic Snake being a huge issue. Cuckoo getting died in mid again.
They are not stopping. No rest for the Wicked. Miracle is just controlling him in this mid lane.
This is even more problematic because the supports are actually sitting in the mid lane as well, like right before that, and they're still losing the lane. They had 3 heroes there, and still they lose a couple of heroes to the Ember Spirit. So, like, what do you actually do as support now? Do you like stack and leave and ditch your mid? Do you sit in mid and let Dusa farm the jungle? Like, there's not that many great options for them right now to deal with the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, and normally you would have some of those defensive heroes there to be able to possibly stop it. You think something like a Dazzle maybe to be able to keep her alive, but
I think they maybe swap the Jug and the Medusa. I think they park the Medusa in the bottom lane would be a lot better. Just because, like, you just want to sit there and farm as a Medusa. And normally your laning strength in the level 4 Mystic Snake is going to be really good, but because they have better rune control and because they have a Wisp, it's not really giving you the lane presence that they need. And with a Juggernaut in mid, Juggernaut, you just spin away if you're in a lot of trouble and you don't actually need the support, so they can do other stuff besides worry about your mid constantly dying.
Well, speaking of Jug, it does look like Raven is going to TP away. That's pretty good timing considering they were all set up to try and dive him there along the bottom lane, but it looks like their thoughts have turned now onto Matumba Man in the top lane, but you can see him hiding already pretty far away from the rest
Normally
of them.
he'd be doing
He's
that
just TPing out. He knows what he's doing.
That's really smart. Yeah, as soon as a Jug
It looks like they had that ward there.
Oh yeah, they did have that ward. But still, I mean, it's a good thing you just straight towers. He does have Metamorphosis up, already starting the illusions, and with the Inner Beast on the Beastmaster, they should be able to trade, I would say, a little bit faster even than the Radiant side.
God, and you see Miracle again, they know that the Juggernaut TP'd, so he's not going to be able to come in and punish this. Miracle just diving Cuckoo behind the tier 1 tower, and no fear at all. Pops the invis and just going to back out again as the tier 1 tower drops bottom. They force the rotation to mid, and they're not going to be able to find anything. They actually get a kill onto Rior. Liquid just all over him at this point.
Mid is not the place to be if you're TNC. That is the... If you TP there, you're just going to die. And they're going to lose the tower, I believe, soon. They have TP'd into Medusa because she is quite tanky, but I mean, still, there is just no real threat for Miracle right now. He didn't even have a safety Remnant. He wanted his triple Remnant just in case he wanted to kill the Medusa.
Yeah, just completely dominant performance here. They are going to use the Roar down here on the bottom and trying to turn it around so that way Matumba Man does not drop. They relocate in, going to jump forward. Ember, just a monster at this stage of the game. They take down 2, double kill for Miracle, and in not really a ton of fear of going down. Thinks about even turning back onto them, but all right, there's the relocate out.
Yeah, that was only 4 heroes. Rubik wasn't even there. So Power of the Wisp is often banned. It's like, oh yeah, we can defend this T2. Meta's almost down. And then you get destroyed.
It seems like it's just such a good answer, too, against what TNC constantly do, picking those strong lanes, and Wisp just demolishes them. I mean, granted, the last pick, Medusa, weakens that lane a little bit more so than it would have if it was a normal or mid hero, but still, it's a tough one.
They still have the mid-game fight to back it up. That's one thing always about TNC's draft is that they have a really strong mid-game team fight in case that the lanes do go poorly. I definitely don't think they expected to go this poorly, but GH has continued to impress on the support, and his Wisp is no exception. So,
oh my God, Miracle going in again. He has the Wisp there to back him up. Just so much with this double damage and forces 4 heroes into the mid lane and just backs out again.
This Wisp is also very farmed. Look at Wisp net worth relative to Medusa. 3,300 versus 3,800. That's crazy. He has Arcane and Urn already.
They roared the Kerr here. A little bit of a kerfuffle there. Mind control, wanting to go for the style play, but we'll be punished for it.
Nice, nice.
The Courier's just going to fly away from that one. So, well, you get one of those a game, I think, and it's going to be okay.
I think Matumba Man's also doing the no Lance builds, inspired perhaps yesterday by Aggressive. It's not something that's very common. Lance is just seen as core, like imperative on heroes like Medusa, Drow Ranger, Terrorblade, Sniper, but we're starting to see a trend where maybe it's not worth it.
Oh God, Tim's yet again just gonna go for the quick TP, but the Remnant, that's a double to find the kill. And well, Kuroki also stole Bloodlust, so if you thought Miracle was scary before, even more so now. Oh, what to you guys is sort of the main, well, we might need to hold on to that thought, as it looks like they're going to try and chase. Swap back in, pulling in Kuro, and yeah, he is going to end up dropping there, but they take one in return, so Rubik goes down, as does the Venge.
They're able to throw out so much pressure in the fights, though. Like, the Medusa doesn't really have a good time to stone gauge. She didn't use it in the bottom T2 engagement. She didn't use it in the mid T1 just because they're just trying to bait it out. And it's their strongest team fight ultimate, I think. Even stronger than Epicenter. And everyone just forced to run away from this Ember Spirit. Oh,
nice little play there by Raven, seeing the opportunity and ends up capitalizing on it, and now going to get chased down a little bit further. Remnant able to dodge it for the moment. Raven on very low HP, 10 in fact, and Miracle just can't quite run him down. He could go for the deny for Roche. Actually, he's going to fake it and head off towards the north. So it looks like Miracle is going to back out in a way. Raven, really well played, and now they're controlling up that Ember Spirit. If they can bring him down, it would be so huge. He gets the chains, walks away. Everybody on low HP here, but they're not going to end up falling as, oh, Miracle jumps back in and he takes down Rior. The relocate in, that's going to heal up Miracle a little bit further, and now the chase for Sam H wants to find him. Urn keeping him alive. He gets the chase, he gets the kill. Double for Miracle. Godlike is an understatement.
that was some impressive individual play from Raven, though. That was that was such a slim opportunity for him to go for the kill on the Wisp. They were just separated enough so that it wouldn't bounce either to the creeps behind the Wisp or in front to the Ember Spirit. And he managed to get away that entire time. Like, he made a lot happen from nothing, and they almost got that prize kill on that Ember Spirit as a result.
Yeah, definitely. Raven, the presence of mind to turn back after the round forward and drop the Omni Slash onto the IO. Just really high-level thinking there. And I mean, it still is this problem where you're 9-0-2 on an Ember Spirit at just under 14 minutes. They have to make something happen, but they smoke right under a ward and a Hawk.
Wow, Ember is actually going for a very unusual build, a Linken's first build. Veil is also traditionally seen as pretty mandatory for an Ember Spirit, but
this would be a really big kill for them. They find Matumba Man, good bit of damage coming in, and they are going to take down that one. Now looking for more GH, able to tether to some creeps, but Raven has a haster, and so he's going to try and chase this, and it does look like he's at least going to be able to find him. The chase should result in a kill as GH goes down, so a killing spree for Raven, much needed for TNC.
this is TNC's greatest strength. Their ability to team fight and take fights where the opponent don't really want to at this point in the game, especially when behind. You know, it's easy to take fights when you're ahead, but being able to come back and take a couple of key kills, especially one on the Terrorblade, is how you get back in the game.
Yeah,
so Linken's first on Ember though. He went Treads. He's going Treads Linken. This is a very tanky build. So he just wants to be the frontliner so that I guess Terrorblade can actually do the damage in the backline. This Treads Linken's build doesn't really give you much damage at all though.
Yeah, it's sort of almost reminiscent of like the Shadow Faceless Void build almost, where he would go for that really on early with the Linken Sphere.
Yeah, he's just setting up for his team.
No. But we'll see if it ends up working out for him. Of course, BKB's eventually coming online for TNC, who could mitigate some of that.
I don't think they're going to get BKBs.
Yeah.
It's just... It is strength. It gives him a lot of HP. If he's in strength treads plus the Linken's, that's what, like 20th strength?
Oh, good swap out. Steals the swap and pulls it back in. Nice little style play there. The Omni Slash comes out, not nearly enough damage, but a good burrow strike. And the epicenter is going to bring down Liquid. 3 dead, and that was the high priority kill onto Ember they needed.
Rubik has been dying a lot in these fights. Crow's making some flashy plays, but he got swapped on top as they were retreating. He's getting destroyed on the bottom lane, and they do need him to pick up some items at some point. Look at his net worth. It's very, very low, and I think a Rubik with low net worth is way worse than a Venge with low net worth. You know, if you die with Venge, not that big a deal. You still provide the aura, and you can trade your life for someone more important. If you're lowest net worth, everyone's probably a little bit more important than you, but Rubik is a hero that you want to stay alive. You want to be able to steal things like Burrow Strike, Stone Gaze, Omni Slash. These are all pretty important spells. Even Bloodlust going to the later game is going to be quite important.
And the thing that's really impressive to me about this game from TNC is normally this is a team that excels at winning the laning stages and then will sometimes fall behind in the mid game. But here, they kind of lost the laning stage and have been able to fight their way back into it. So showing a little bit of versatility in their play styles.
Their lineups are typically geared around that though. So, yeah, it's not quite typical for them. So Ember has his Linken's complete, going for the Blink afterwards. He has gone for the Spell Lamp, so nothing unusual in his talent build as of yet.
There's the Linken's that ends up hopping on Miracle. But a Manta style for the Medusa. Is that at all a surprise for you going forward early on here?
Manta, it's... Medusa builds are strange. People just hate on a lot of different Medusa builds. Manta is really good on Medusa. You get the split shot on the illusions, that's really good. You get stats, very good, because you kind of double dip into survivability with the strength and the intelligence. But I think more importantly, you also can get out a lot of stuff. You can prevent a roar by Manta splitting. You can get out of the Searing Chains with Manta split, and you can also prevent a lot of the damage from Terrorblade.
Oh, really good play there. They relocate out the Ember though, and it was well set up because now the rest of Liquid is coming in from the south. They've stunned up the Medusa. Does manage to get the ulti off the epicenter out as well, connecting onto several, and it looks like they're not all dropping super low. They get to relocate back and away by the IO, so gonna be fine for the moment. The only one dead so far is the Vengeful Spirit. Looks like Sam H is gonna be run down by Miracle. That's a double for him, and Remnant to chase, but can't quite get the change. Kuroki is still chasing down Tims, but it looks like he should be okay for the moment as Raven Gets a lucky invisor in there and still taking the damage from Io. Oh, another one. Can he quite find it? Raven just wants to stay pretty close at this point. He finds it! He ends up getting him, resummoning to the spirits.
Oh my god, that was...
GH.
Okay, that was ridiculously good Wisp play. First, his relocate out. He got it on the Ember Spirit. He shifted him maybe 1,000 range away, but it was to the rest of his team, so they were able to immediately engage. After that, he actually relocated the Terrorblade out while he was stun locked, about another 1,000 range, and then of course that Wisp Spirit play where he just killed an invisible hero. I mean, there's nothing else to say. GH,
What just happened?
God. Oh wow. Damn, his Wisp is so scary. That's actually quite incredible. You don't see too many individual plays. Usually it's just like, okay, one relocate save is generally like, wow, but to relocate back and forth on the return
and the kill on the Juggernaut.
That was very impressive.
Top 10 Wisp in a really long time. But anyways, we got to go 9-14. It feels like both teams have just been sort of battling it out at this stage. Do you feel like Roshan is going to need to be on the menu for one of these teams pretty soon here?
I mean, TNC, their lineup is based around winning team fights, and if they can't win team fights, you know, there's not really any point of thinking about other objectives, and they still have to. They're gonna have to fight head on. You can't split push versus the Wisp often too. Like Beastmaster will just roar you, someone will relocate and you just get destroyed, even if you're a tanky hero like Medusa or a hero with magic immunity like Juggernaut. So split pushing is not an option. They can't 5-man push into Liquid because they're just not strong enough right now. They can't do Roche because Liquid has better positioning on the map. So they have to be able to kind of contest Liquid's advances onto their side of the map so they can farm up a little bit more. And right now they can't really like that mid T1 is still up, the bottom T1 is still up, and they haven't really been able to venture past the river. Once you win team fights, you can get past the river. So how do you actually win team fights? You need to kill the Wisp at the start of the fight. You need to be able to kill the Ember Spirit, but Ember Spirit actually probably not the best target for them to kill because of all the survivability items. They tried to go on the Wisp too. He epicentered him after the relocate last fight. Yeah, but he's still not dying. He's way too farmed on the network, but the problem is he still needs to die, even though he is very tanky. So he's like Arcanes, he has Mech, he has Urn, so you know it's like a 1500 HP Wisp who has relocate out, he has Tether to move away, and he has the backup of his team.
Well, and you can see up there, they're trying to bait out a reaction from Liquid to go to the top lane to defend the tier 2 so they can epicenter him, but Liquid just say, we're going to take your mid tier 2, and if you don't do something, we're ready to push down towards bottom as well. This is a really, really scary point in time right now for TNC.
Too. They actually forego the mid lane and go bottom lane where there's no creeps. I think this is to prevent like multiple angles of entry from TNC, but that's something that's very unusual too, unless you have like low HP on the tower. So it looks like their preferred lane of choice to push is actually bottom lane.
Yeah, and you can see right there as well, Miracle, you talked about just being able to stay up on the high ground. They can't really initiate on him to effectively. Blinks in, finds the chains. If he gets his Lincoln pops, he just jumps back out to the Remnant. Really cool play by Miracle.
That was just an overall very cool play by Liquid in general, too. Like the way they approached that siege. I don't really know how things would have turned out, had they pushed the mid lane, or maybe like the choke point is a little bit wider on the bottom lane, so it's easier for Terrorblade to spread out a little bit. Like the supports can actually hide much better in the fog on the bottom lane as well, on that south side. And they also had vision on the high ground behind that mid push too. So the positioning, I think, would have been really, really important for them.
Uh-oh. Medusa in the river is just going to take a bit of a beating there. Going back now for the Lincolns, you know, you talked about it earlier, the Medusa's builds tend to be a little bit strange in general, as the Force Staff actually is going to push Medusa in again. Sam H has already used the Burrow Strike. Lincoln's now popped for Miracle, but he's continuing to just harass this TNC lineup.
They know they can't kill him. Like, he's kind of pressed as far as he wants to. And the thing is, like, at one of these points, like, he's going to hit a Searing Chains and everyone's just going to sweep on those targets. And they constantly have to live in fear of that. Not only, like, Beastmaster coming in with his Roar, with his Necro, but also, like, a TB relocated on the backline with the Conjure Image and 2 Manta Illusions, and everyone's just going to die. So, yeah, the Medusa's not going to do anything in these fights. She still doesn't have enough damage.
It's really tough right now, and I'm feeling like Liquid, they're incredibly happy, obviously, with the way that this game has gone, but now it's sort of, where do you go with that next point? Like, do they need to try and start pressuring down the top tier 2, or is it okay just to finish off all the shrines, which allows them easier access to Roshan? How do you see their game working out over the next several minutes here?
Just play it by ear, see how TNC plays. They try to split push the T2 on top, so if they push the T2 on top, you can either defend or you can pressure way harder than they can. And I think they generally just always have the one-up in terms of push potential. Bloodlust is very mediocre compared to Inner Beast and a Terrorblade Metamorphosis. Ember, one of the worst tower hitters, but Terrorblade, one of the best. And I think like Liquid can easily win out on that aspect. So what else can TNC do besides try and split push them? As they split push as 3 too. You see split push as 1 and 2, you're going to die to Beastmaster plus relocate. So if they had split push as more than 1, and then you can farm up your side of the jungle, but Liquid have kind of been all up in that area. Maybe the best choice for them is to actually get a gem fairly soon and deal with the Hawk as well as the Observer wards that surely should be haunting their side of the map.
Oh, Miracle, this could be a... No, he's just gone. Immediately gone.
They can't deal with him. He's containing them inside their base. Like, they can't smoke out because there is an Ember Spirit, and they don't have good lockdown for him. Their only instant stun is Sand King.
And he has Lincolns, so it doesn't even matter really. And now they're going to take the fight to the side of TNC. Cuckoo is on the low ground. They're moving in. Sam H, is he going to get Burrow Struck? And not able to use it because of that root. He drops so quickly, and Cuckoo going to be swapped out. Rior just trying to make sure he doesn't get there, but they're going to relocate in. Miracle looking for some more kills. He is going to be stunned for the moment, and they're still going to be able to run down that Venge. Miracle continuing the chase now for Raven. But it has just gone from bad to worse. This game for TNC.
Medusa is not the pace to deal with this Liquid lineup. Like, it just completely got destroyed in the laning phase, and even that fight, Stone Gaze run away. Like, you don't even get any damage because she had no mana. And the Beastmaster is also very, very farmed, so the Necro Book actually does a lot of damage versus the Medusa, who typically is seen as one of the most tanky heroes in the game.
Wow, and you can see here again, they just throw out the chains. Miracle able to jump away as soon as that Lincoln's procs, and guess what? Matumba Man just took the melee barracks and going to do a good bit of damage onto the ranged as well, and they can just back out. There's nothing to stop them right now for TNC's lineup that can do anything to this Liquid team group.
Liquid's
really
very
rough.
patient. They don't fight without meta, and it's sometimes you just get impatient. You're like, okay, I have to Aegis. I have like a minute left on it. A meta's not going to be up, but they're very patient. They wait for the exact moment that they want to smoke in, swoop in, get a couple of kills. They have meta up, continue to get a Rax. The range Rax is pretty juicy. It's pretty easy for them to take down, but too risky. No meta, let's just back out.
And I mean, we haven't had to have huge plays coming in from the rest of Liquid because you've still got GH and Miracle just making all the space in the world for him. And an Invis Miracle walking up to the high ground is going to spot out Raven here. There's a good chance that they could just find him. Sam H does have Burrow Strike. They throw out a Remnant. Lincoln's popped, and he's away.
And Sammy trying to pop it with a Force Staff to actually secure some lockdown on him.
It does feel like this has just been the perfect answer. The Lincoln Sphere, not something, as you said, that you normally see on Ember Spirit as the first item, but considering he got off to such a huge start, didn't need the added magical damage.
All he needs to do is prevent that first stun. Else you can just outplay it with Slight, with Blink, with Remnants. And they are getting some damage on the side of TNC. They do have a Juggernaut who is quite farmed. Maelstrom going to be pretty good at perhaps dealing with those terrible illusions, but Terrorblade's bad. He has Scotty completed. They're going to have Roche very, very soon, and I would assume that they would try and end the game with the next Aegis and Metamorphosis timing, which is, like, Terrorblade is incredible. I guess you could wait for Butterfly too. That's also a pretty good power spike because Medusa does not have the farm to get an MKB at this exact moment, or probably when Matumba Man has Butterfly.
I guess that's something to talk about a little bit, is that Medusa, you mentioned at the very start of the game, a great hero dealing with Terrorblade if they can get to equal farm. So if we do see Liquid maybe overextend, you find a couple kills there, how many fights would it take for TNC to sort of be on parity with them?
I think just one big wipe would be enough. Okay. One, like 5-0, it would put them close enough where Medusa can actually stand in the fights.
Well, we're walking up here now. Might need to pop the Stone Gaze potentially. It's a hell of a lot of damage onto this tier 3 in the top lane, and Well, Cuckoo spots out that swap. They're going to swap him back in. This is a good way to start it. Stun lock for the moment. They still have that stone form dropping really low with the relocate back. GH going to keep him up and alive. They also use the Sunder to be able to bring down the Rubik low and keep that Terrorblade very healthy. So they force the buyback on the Ogre. And Liquid are just going to continue. Raven's not even there.
Matoma Man just picked up his health and evasion. And he had about, 28% HP left, so...
Oh god, Cuckoo taking so much damage here. They're already on top of him. A good burrow strike. Epicenter isn't going to be enough, but Tumble Man solo, no Sunder, and trying to walk away. He's almost dead. It does look like he's going to be able to walk away, though.
Wow. That... he spent his gold right before the fight. Usually you'll pick up the... agility first, but that little bit of extra gold. Medusa's actually very tough to break high ground against because killing her on a shrine is probably one of the most difficult heroes to kill on a shrine. She already has effectively how much HP? 4,000-ish maybe, and then you're doubling that with a shrine. Normally you're just getting the HP back, but she still can't survive.
And I mean, Liquid just playing this on a knife's edge right now consistently between the Ember Spirit barely staying alive, the Terrorblade as well. It's feeling like right now, at least, TNC just don't have that extra bit of damage. I mean, if you're thinking about the next items for the Medusa here, sometimes I believe that we've seen Maelstrom in the past, but Scotty, I feel like, is that tried and true tested method. What are your thoughts?
Probably MKB. Okay. Just because I think she actually needs to do damage. If they had a little bit more damage right now, perhaps if she had a different build other than the Lincoln's Manta, maybe the Terrorblade would have died there before the relocate came out and the Sunder, and then they would have been able to continue to snowball and kill 3 or 4 more heroes. So it was actually quite close, their setup to kill the Terrorblade. That was a great swap by Rior.
Well, it looks like with Aegis now in hand, TNC, they're going to need something big to be able to pull this back. It is such a tough hold. I mean, they were able to hold on to their barracks in the last little initiation that came out, but whether that's going to happen again, it's kind of suspect. They needed buybacks for it as well, which they're not going to have now.
And they have the Aegis on Liquid this time, so the plan of killing the Terrorblade is not going to work out. You might get rid of his meta with the first life, but that's hardly going to win you the fight.
Well, Butterfly not quite there at the very least, and the Hawk is going to be wrapping around as well, so they'll have good vision on everything that's coming through. But Cuckoo still standing tall there. Looks like they're going for the wraparound and need to be careful for the counter initiation play that can come out. They're all grouped up together. The epicenter, it's not going to come out as of yet. Sam H going to be lifted and pulled back in. Rior dropping so low, and there's a double kill from a Tumberman. Miracle as well, just all over him. Cuckoo is already gone. It looks like Raven also maybe going to be able to bring him down. He's starting to get the right clicks off of Mind Control. Is going to be able to survive through that. They are going to also find Cuckoo. Triple kill from a Tumbleman. They don't have buybacks on 4. This could potentially be it. Yeah, GG just comes out.
They tried. Sam H, I think, played particularly well on the same team too. He had some really good epicenters that almost won them a lot of team fights, which is very difficult when you're 10, 15,000 net worth behind. Also, he has to deal with the Root on the Ember Spirit and the Lincoln Spirit.
This game, if you win a toss, you are TNC, you probably want first pick. Then it makes it easier for you because you can either choose to ban the Kotal or you want to pick it. Because they are scared of 3 heroes right now: Kotal, the Lone Druid, and the IO.
Yeah. So pick your poison. It's not going to be Kotal.
Oh, they are first pick now. So
They are first pick though.
Okay.
There we go.
But they're not an IO playing team. They are a Lone Druid playing team though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Snag the Druid.
Never mind.
Okay.
No.
Oh no, what have you done?
Oh.
Don't give him the IO, please.
Okay.
I don't think they
Maybe.
play IO. I have not seen them playing IO. I hope this is not going to be the first time.
This will be an important pick going out from
They
TNC. Okay,
picked the
well, they're
IO.
gonna try it. They're
Alright.
gonna go for it.
I don't think I've seen them play the hero. Maybe they've played like once. I've never seen them run this hero at all.
Well, maybe they've had it in the bag. We've seen a lot of crazy IOs.
So
Jungle
this
IO.
should be Teams. I know Teams play this hero in the pub a few times. I've played with him,
Okay.
but I've never seen the team run this hero.
I hope that's what the actual in-draft conversation was. Hey, anybody got any Wisp players over here?
Does anybody play Wisp in their pubs?
Get
I've
some
played it a
MMR
couple
with
I
times.
mean, you'll be surprised. Sometimes it's just like that, where you have to make an immediate adjustment in a series. The captain just turns to a player. Can you play this hero? We don't have enough bans.
Well, then why didn't they just pick Lone Druid? I mean, they had that option to ban out Io instead, and we know that they have great Lone Druid players on that team.
I think probably they're not confident playing Lone Druid. That could also be the other reason where the
Okay.
player feels like, oh, I'm not,
I'm
you know,
okay.
I'm not playing this hero at a level where I feel we could first pick the hero.
I suppose so. And then, I mean, it's not like no one knows how to counter Lone Druid at this point. Pretty much everybody's got that. If you're still in this tournament,
Yeah,
you
Liquid
figured
is
out how
also
to do
a team
it.
that uses Lone Druid very well. So you
Right.
kind of expect, oh, they know how to deal with Lone Druid.
Exactly.
That reminded me of Winter when Dendy was talking about how Puppy picked him Enigma, I think.
Oh yeah, TI1.
So, yeah, you know how to play
I've
this
never
hero?
played
I
the
got
hero.
it, man. Okay, let's do it.
TNC's turn to pick.
They won regardless.
Yeah. So Rubik and Centaur Warrunner. Rubik on Team Liquid, terrifying stuff. Probably one of the best Rubik players in the world. So great first pick there. And Centaur, a little bit more beef this time.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, they go for the same option in picking a support and an offlaner first. We had Beastmaster obviously in the previous game for my control. I like the Centaur, and again, it leaves it very open to what they are gonna do with this draft.
It's a very stable offlaner right now, in my opinion. He provides a lot of control in team fights with the stun plus his ultimate. He is a very strong laner if you pair him with the right hero, and he can jungle. He has a very good Axe upgrade. There's so many aspects of the hero that would give the team an advantage in the team fights.
Right, he grants some kind of answer to the mobility of the other team as well. And Liquid, we've seen sometimes they don't show their hand till much later. We've seen them pair Centaur a lot with heroes like Sniper. Maybe not so much this game, but the added mobility makes otherwise easier to kill heroes much more dangerous and deals with that Wisp too.
He's like a big distraction in the front line, and his ultimate, very low cooldown. Like in this patch, you see teams always favoring ultis that don't have a long cooldown.
Yeah.
You want to keep fighting, so Centaur is that kind of hero that would allow your team to constantly fight. You don't have to wait a long time. It's like, 50 seconds cooldown, a minute cooldown.
Right.
They removed the OD there.
OD, he's we see him a lot on the ban screen. Only see him once or twice on the pick
TNC
screen.
runs him very
Yeah,
frequently.
usually when a
yeah.
team bans OD, I would think about the immediate laning problems of certain heroes. Certain heroes like Ember, when they go up against OD, they struggle. So I would think that the team might want to pick Ember.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Could
that's
be.
a hero we haven't seen at all.
Draw.
Interesting.
Vanillin to a
Draw
ranger.
count. What does draw
Pick.
count?
Well, you've seen maybe a couple patches ago, you have the Wisp being able to save the Drow from gap closers, and then just, if you go with more of a range, I've tried to go for that early
I
push,
don't know. I
maybe
think
get
this
under
this
Liquid.
draw pick there might be a reason for this draw ban. Like something is very maybe a playstyle that they. Maybe not a playstyle because Io and draw is like a bit weird together. Because draw you want a 5-man. Like Io sometimes you want to play more like map control and you have a bad rider. So it tends to go towards the direction where you want to split, catch with lasso and just like farm the map. And draw is not that kind of. I'm not sure. Maybe they are picking a hero that's very scared of draw.
Maybe a couple mid pairings that we haven't seen.
Or maybe it could be the
Punker,
lane.
Queen of Pain or something like that they don't want to pair with the Drow.
No, it could be the lane because the third ban they ban out the OD, a hero that's really good in the lane, and a safe lane draw would provide their mid laner advantage in the lane. And the last game they beat TNC in the lane.
Yeah. And they pick up the Weaver themselves this time.
This hero is really good at killing the Io. Io is very scared of Weaver. You
Probably
want to
one of
get
the best.
you want to get a Ghost Scepter ASAP.
I think I was also very scared of the Centaur though.
Yeah, same.
I mean, Io's scared of a lot of things in this game.
However, many things should be scared of the IO plus Bat Rider. We've seen that wreak some havoc even yesterday.
Sure.
Well, we'll see. Do you think TNC is a team to go for a classic classic combination with an IO? I mean, they're not really.
Never seen them play Io.
I was going to say that, but then you like Raven Tiny haven't really seen that often. Raven Ursa not often either.
They picked Ursa I think once earlier.
Okay.
Raven played it. So I wouldn't say they can't play it. They definitely can.
But Ursa is not real great at the moment. I think they
Ursa
lost
is
that game.
not that good against Weaver.
Oh no,
Not
that's a hard matchup.
not that great against Stampede. difficult here though. They need good lockdown for the Weaver right now, but at the moment they have only the Lasso.
I think something like a puck could be very threatening for them. Not sure if that's.
Puck is great against Stampede because you lock them now in a position. But then when you
Right.
go Puck plus Bat Rider as your... Oh wait, they do run support Bat Rider. Didn't they teams play...
Yeah, they do.
Didn't teams play one... was it on the first day where he actually played a support Bat Rider one game?
Turn to
I think.
Yeah,
you are
I remember
correct,
him
sir.
playing the Bat Rider. So it could be something along those lines. But it would be really greedy though if you have Io plus Bat Rider as your support duo, because both of those heroes need a lot of farm.
Yeah, they had the Bat Rider at that time with the Rubik support combination. They did also have Sam H on the Sand King that game
remaining.
Yeah.
with Juggernaut and Timber to back that up.
Reserve time.
But still, if you look at the first three heroes, I still favor Liquid's starting three. I think it has much more versatility. Lane presence is really good. Good team fight.
It seems like they know what they're doing with these picks.
And TNC, the first two picks is telling me that they are trying to adjust towards their enemies. In some ways, it might be a good thing, but for this team, it might it could do
It's
more
the
bad.
Doom! Play as to your strengths, TNC. Be the team we've seen all tournament. Don't get freaked out by Liquid.
Yeah, they're like a bit worried
Kuro
about.
bleeds. We can kill it. All right? Stay with it, boys.
What
I mean,
about-
we'll still
going
have to
back
see.
the Wisp, would you rather accept playing a hero that you're less familiar with, or just give it to, just leave that in
God,
the
no.
draft for somebody who's clearly going to dominate?
Yeah,
with
I mean,
it?
I guess it's a difficult call because you don't really want to play against their Kotal either.
Wow.
Alright.
Enigma coming out here. Hello, new
The
hero.
relocate counter.
Is that the relocate counter?
Yep.
People have been picking Warlock for that. It's got a lower cooldown. It's got just
who was the
as
team that
much
actually?
stop.
Oh, EG. You know, in the past when the enemy team picks IO, EG always picks
10
Enigma plus
seconds
Tide.
remaining.
Really? Oh, just to stop that kind of initiation and
Look at
completely
that.
shut it
Relocate into me, bro. I have
Yeah.
Ravage and Black Hole.
down. Look at that damage. Oh lord, 71% win rate. But I mean,
Pretty high.
Reserve
he's
time.
hardly ever picked though. I mean,
so they're gonna
in-
have like a greedy jungler this game. I assume Santo will be their offlaner. Unless they do something different with the Santo.
They use that to protect heroes that you have to run at too. So we've seen that sometimes with like the Lone Druid, for instance. Again, something like the Sniper that we've seen them paired with the Centaur, and that you kind of have to run at to take them down. They've run a lot this tournament, so I'm not sure if they'll go that direction here.
Liquid's turn to ban.
What you can do, I can do. Ember IO.
Okay, yeah. So they're taking some notes then. This is good. I like this.
And
This is in your
Liquid
head
does
strat.
not have very good lockdowns for the Ember.
I mean, they got Black Hole though.
Yeah,
Seconds
There's
long
no
cooldown.
better lockdown. All right, I'm still trying to figure out that drought ban. I mean,
Enigma also allows an early kind of death ball push option. You get the
Yeah, probably.
Greaves up.
I
you
think
don't
the
really wanna
drawback is
fight
like-
into 'em.
Just you don't want them to have a hero that helps them win their lanes because of the OD ban. Those are the two common factors between OD and draw.
yeah,
They
okay.
win you lanes.
I just thought that there'd be some like, oh, okay, but no.
Maybe sometimes it's just as simple as that. They don't want you to have heroes that win the lanes.
Yeah, who the hell wants to play against Drow?
But won't IO be able to help
TNC
with winning your lanes regardless?
Yeah, that's why they don't want additional factors to help you win the
Okay,
lanes.
okay.
All right,
That could be the reasoning.
What do you expect the lanes to be so far?
It looks like it's a Bat Rider support,
Yeah.
Sam H on Sand King. Well, I would actually hope that it's actually Sam H Bat Rider and a roaming Sand King.
Okay.
Because then it wouldn't be so greedy.
seconds remaining.
Yeah. They still ban out that Ursa that we talked about earlier.
Jack, you're a genius. Talk to me, buddy.
Maybe it is because of the greed that they went with the Enigma as well. They're like, all right, you're probably going to play this greed, and we'll respond to that with our own version of greed.
I mean, they look pretty confident. Sam H is smiling. This is gonna be good.
But I think if you look at winning the lanes, if Bat Rider is a core and IO roams around, IO plus Bat Rider is stronger than IO plus Sand King. That's what I feel. If you want to have a strong presence in the lane, and right now you're looking at Liquid, they have a jungling hero.
Yeah.
So you immediately think
You can
about,
punish it.
can we punish the lanes harder? Can we run the lanes
Seconds
over?
remaining.
Comes down to the laning stage again.
Yeah, it always comes down to the laning stage for TNC.
Not necessarily, because in their game against Secret yesterday, they lost that laning stage and then they won hard in the mid game.
Yeah, but for TNC, they sort of like they need like the C teams always need to have a good laning phase.
Secret had something to do with that as well.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
They let them do that.
So when they have a support that can be anywhere and help the lanes out. It allows their cores to function very well.
Yeah, that IO can basically show up and win your lane for you,
Yeah.
and turn an otherwise manageable lane into a terrifying one.
He's something like an ogre for the first few minutes, but he's not as strong. But the main difference is after the laning phase, he has a lot to offer for his team. The save, the map presence, and obviously he has something like a bloodlust as well. The overcharge, but you have to sacrifice your hit points and mana for that. But I mean overall, they are similar heroes in some ways.
I wonder which direction TNC will go here. As far as mid goes, Tinker has been something that's been a popular pick for Cuckoo. It will also be kind of something that would fit Liquid's lineup a little bit with that global presence. So I wonder if that's a direction that they
Tinker
potentially
is
go.
like a good hero for their playstyle, but Io and Beastmaster are both heroes that are really good against the Tinker. They have chosen to remove out the OD. OD is, I would say, much better against their lineup with the burst against the Io, and you have the save against the Raw.
Remaining.
I wouldn't mind playing against Tinker if I have Beastmaster and Io. I think these two heroes would be able to do really well against it because you already have that catch. The games where we saw Cuckoo run rampant on his Tinker was when the enemy team did not have any catch against his Tinker.
There's a Necrophos ban. I just want to put it out there because we haven't seen that hero at all the entire tournament.
Didn't Liquid play like Io Necrophos in like
We've
I remember
seen
like
a
there was an
Liquid
event
Necro.
that they played. I can't remember which one.
His turn to ban. TNC's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful spirit.
TN
Ogre Magi!
Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Beastmaster.
TNC's turn to ban. TNC's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Recently in qualifiers, they ran a mid Necrophos, I believe, as well. So, or no, a safe lane Necrophos.
Yeah, I think Matumba Man. Yeah, Matumba Man played the hero.
Remaining.
So basically, you have that double, triple
TNC's
heal,
turn
like
to
so much heal with the IO.
Liquid, what are you doing here? I mean, it's good to be able to hide information from the other team, but it's also good to have a team that does things.
Is
They
this a mid
haven't-
Juggernaut, you think, or is this a
Not
carry?
sure.
I thought
Very,
they still
very
have a
open.
Luna, which is another like pretty frequent option for them.
Yeah, very
Or even-
open-ended. The Juggernaut.
Seconds remaining.
Same goes for the Rubik. Doesn't say anything. It's very solid. Good in the lane. Healing. Good team fight. Healing ward, Omni Slash, and whatnot. It's mainly, I think, the focus here is for TNC. They are picking just like really good lanes once more. They don't want to have an issue in the laning phase, and they want to be able to kill you and punish you in the lane. And the Juggernaut still gives them options of having different lanes because you can go mid or carry.
All right, very standard draft coming out for what we've seen this entire
Yeah, so
tournament.
far Sam H has mostly played Slada or Sand King.
Right.
Those are the two heroes I see him play a lot recently. He's been just on that team fight hero.
Mhm.
They don't put him on like a greedier farming like what we saw from ROTK, the Doom or the Magnus, more farming orientated cost. He's more of like the team fight control.
Yeah, think the Darkseer when Earthspirit is there. That is like the ultimate Sam H hero for me.
I mean, Sand King is really good against the relocate. When you see the relocate coming in, you can get ready with your epicenter. So you've got that going for you.
Yeah, he is a great defensive hero for team fights, but he's also very aggressive, which is what we like to see
Yeah,
Sam H on
Sand
as
King
well.
plus Ogre could be a huge problem for their lanes because if you look at Liquid's lineup right now, Io plus Rubik, not the greatest duo. You don't
No.
do so much damage in between both of you.
Uh-huh.
So and you would kind of expect GH on the Io to like run around, help mid, help bottom. So if Rubik plus one, there's a huge chance that the Ogre plus Sand King can, just break the lane apart.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a huge amount of damage coming out on that lane from those two supports. So the pick going to be coming out here from Team Liquid. Probably our first insight into their game plan here. You expecting any like standard IO combos? Maybe a Tiny, maybe an
I'd say a
Ursa?
Legion Commander, something like that. We've seen that used against a Juggernaut, a good natural partner for the IO as well.
Ooh, wow. Oh my god, Liquid, the squish is real. And if they get initiated on any one of these heroes, they're just going to get blowed up, boys.
I mean, but they have a very clear plan around the Terrorblade. They have the Io. Every time when you pick Terrorblade, you want to have like someone to be able to save you, so you get your Sunder off. They have a good synergy with the Beastmaster and Terrorblade. But the one thing that I'm really worried is the lane though. The lane of Liquid right now is extremely weak. Like
Right.
Rubik, Terrorblade is, I
They
don't know,
could
like,
get run over, man.
the Ogre and Sand King duo can just destroy that. Even if the Io decides to go up, I can still see the Ogre and Sand